Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيموا الصلاة ويؤتوا الزكاة وذلك دين القيمة. The holy month of Ramadan is still with us with its blessings. The doors of divine recognition and grace remain opened. The purpose of Ramadan is to sacrifice a sizable portion of our lawful desires while showing our utmost devotion to the divine Lord. What is the way to show this utmost devotion? Allah the Almighty has said in the verse I recited earlier on, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ حُنَفَاءَ وَيُقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَيُؤْتُوا الزَّكَاةَ وَذَلِكَ دِينُ الْقَيِّمَةِ. And they were not commanded but to serve Allah, being sincere to Him in obedience and being upright, and to observe prayer and pay the zakat, and that is the religion of the people of the right path. Surah Al-Bayyinah, verse 6. That is the true and perfect way of showing one's devotion to Allah. That is, the true and perfect way of showing one's devotion to Allah is worship. This worship is not meant to be mere exercise or practice. The worship required of a true servant of Allah comes with the term مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ, which indicates perfect devotion to faith and total obedience to a sublime state of hunafa, that is, the state of uprightness, where a man delivers all his senses and capacities to the divine. The absence of this attribute in the worship of a man renders the worship weak, and the hallmark of this type of worship is the observance of Salat, as noted in the verse recited. Now, in the holy month of Ramadan, when we have sacrificed our meal and water and other lawful desires, we are keeping away from all foul actions and attitudes, then we are better placed to get closer to Allah the Almighty through our worship. The great avenue given to us through fasting is described by the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying, قال الله عز وجل كل عمل ابن آدم له إلا الصيام هو لي وأنا أجزي به. That is, Allah the Almighty says, the children of Adam have their reward in relation to every action of theirs except fasting. It is for me, and I am its reward. As Allah the Almighty has designated Himself as the reward of fasting, this gives us the clear opportunity that as we fast and combine total devotion to worship, we will gain the nearness of Allah the Almighty, which is the greatest reward, the accountability of which there is no limit. Another link between these two is also stated by the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam when he said, "As-salatu mi'rajul mu'min," that is, salat is the ascent of a believer. The purpose of ascent is the meeting of Allah the Almighty. Then, when on one hand, salat takes one to Allah, and on the other, Allah Himself is the reward of fasting, the coming together of these two obligation in the month of Ramadan brings man to the realization of his purpose of life and the purpose of religion. How great will it then be when we spice up these two opportunities with the sacrifice from our earnings? Then we attained what Allah the Almighty called Dinul Qajima, the religion of the people of the right path. The opportunity to sacrifice from our earnings and belongings in the holy month of Ramadan is another divine gift of worship. The Holy Quran states, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أَعْطَى وَاتَّقَى وَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى وَأَمَّا مَنْ بَخِلَ وَاسْتَغْنَى وَكَذَّبَ بِالْحُسْنَى فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْعُسْرَى. Meaning, then as for him who gives and is righteous and testifies to the truth of what is right, we will facilitate for him every facility. But as for him who is niggardly and is disdainfully indifferent and rejects what is right, we will make easy for him the path to distress. This is in Surah Al-Layl of the Holy Quran, verse 6 to 11. Here comes the perfect situation for us. By the exercise of the month of Ramadan and coming out of it, do we want to come out of it in ease or in distress? Let's make this Ramadan a turning point. It is not imperative that we sacrifice huge amounts or huge property in the cause of worship. What is important is the sincerity that comes with the sacrifice. As such, Allah the Almighty enjoined the believers, saying, لِيُنْفِقُ ذُو سَعَةٍ مِّن سَعَتِهِ وَمَنْ قُدِرَ عَلَيْهِ رِزْقُهُ فَلْيُنْفِقُ مِمَّا آتَاهُ اللَّهُ لَا يُكَلِّفُ اللَّهُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا مَا آتَاهَا سَيَجْعَلُ اللَّهُ بَعْدَ عُسْرٍ يُسْرًا. Let him who has abundance of means spend out of his abundance, and let him whose means of subsistence are strengthened spend out of what Allah has given him. Allah burdens not any soul beyond what he has given it. Allah will soon bring out ease after hardship. Is that not impressive? You make sacrifice within your limits and gain ease after hardship. The purpose of worship is to gain spiritual progress, but within its reward, Allah puts ease. Another important worship we have in Ramadan is the remembrance of Allah the Almighty through words of prayers and invocations of praise to Allah, recitation of the Holy Quran, and seeking forgiveness. All of these acts of ibadah, that is worship, makes the blessed month of Ramadan special, and making them part of our life even after Ramadan brings the realization of our objective of worship. The promised Messiah alayhi salatu wassalam and Mahdi, the promised Messiah and Mahdi alayhi salatu wassalam says, the purpose of accepting a religion is that God, who is self-sufficient and is in no need of his creation or its worship, may be pleased with us, and that we should experience such grace and mercy as should wipe out our inner stains and rusts, so that our breasts may be filled with certainty and understanding. This is not possible for a man to achieve through his own devices. This is found in Sulma, Cheshma area. Therefore, I would like to enjoin each and every one of us to stand by total devotion to Allah the Almighty with full consciousness in our worship during this month of Ramadan to gain the pleasure and nearness of our beloved Allah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.